And so with shareholder advocacy, overall, it's how we as sisters, we as citizens of this country have a voice at the table.
When I got involved with McDonald's, I learned an awful lot about their plight. And the group that I got connected with was a coalition of Immokalee workers, and their base is in Florida. We got McDonald's through dialogue to raise their pay a penny a pound. So it raised their wages like $32 a day. So that's how we got involved. They chose with us a resolution on human rights. So that's the one I showed the coalition, and they agreed. There were 8 points of how McDonald's too was violating this human rights. And we won, which means you got to kind of go to the court. And well, it is. The SEC takes us to court. And so we have to defend our resolution. In 2 or 3 weeks, this package about this thick comes in the mail, and we were all around this round table, and they come in and plop the thing on the table, and it's got my name on it. Sister Annette Sinagra Opie. So Margie opens it, and she takes out the first page. Her face, lights up. I said, "What is it, Margie? What is it?" She said, "We won."
My ministry was education. The work on the Portfolio Advisory Board was totally something that we did after hours or on the weekends. I was actively involved in discussions with Kmart. So I was able to actually go to the Kmart headquarters and have discussions with the management about ensuring that the products that they were selling, that there was a good representation from minority-owned businesses. So I always felt that that was important. We've had some successes. When I began on PAB, apartheid was rampant in South Africa.
This was a very serious time as far as some of the countries in the world. And one in particular was South Africa. A number of groups had already begun to look at where they were investing their monies. And they had actually come up with the Sullivan Principles. And the whole idea of the Sullivan Principles would be that anyone who invested monies there had to absolutely ensure that Black people were employed in these companies. We had a press conference, and we also cut up our shell cards and made sure that we publicized this so that others would hopefully follow our example. Oftentimes, we know so little about foreign countries, and we know so little about the history of the country and what's going on in that country. And that if somebody has that information, that people who come to shareholder meetings are on the whole very interested in learning and in knowing what they vote for and why they're voting.
Another way that we voice ourselves is by proxy voting.
In each proxy vote, there's a section that can be done by a shareholder. And so the shareholders often, and especially religious shareholders like ourselves, want to focus on workers' rights, and especially the rights of women and minorities and racial justice and climate and things like that. And then we would look at the shareholder resolutions that people had presented. And so we've been voting for 25 years almost. And And it started out to be a group of us, and we'd meet together and discuss, well, what do you think about this one, or what do you think about that one? Nowadays, it's quite different. We still get hundreds of proxies to vote, but they're mostly online now.